Henry! It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Oakland Raiders. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. From the gun, it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. Cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the counter, it's Henry. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And all the way down to the 29. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry for Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again to Henry. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes this third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Barkevious Mingo with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson on the left hash. This from 48 yards. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this will come up short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Oakland after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Get down! You're wide 88!
Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Well, that run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Down, 180.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. On 1st down, Wilson steps away to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lynch. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Escaping the pressure right. Leaves it for Penny. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. Room to run inside the 40. And down right around the 37. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now it's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Tyler Lockett, 37 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catchers, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Carr now on 1st down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. It worked very well there for a first down.
Over the middle, Cooper with it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now, Carr again. And his throw here's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Steps away. It's caught inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. That is caught inside the 5. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Again, Wilson. Dancing to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Teddy Bridgewater, strong as usual in the victory as his guys run their record now to 7-3. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Kenny Galladay, a touchdown catch in the victory. And finally, a good one scheduled for Monday Night Football between the Washington Redskins and the Houston Texans. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7th. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go play action here on first down, being chased out left. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
This is caught. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. And even 50 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Out to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it again with Henry. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Throwing his car on third down. They set up the screen for Henry. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to wind up and air it out into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot, and if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there, and sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And out now come the Seahawks. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are, the defense is...
And the Raiders have got him.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Throwing is Wilson. Room here to run. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting, but even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On third down, Carr. He dumps it off for Henry. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere, forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
This one taken from the 7. Shreds the tackle.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
23 yards on the play. They go play action now. Wilson, flush to his right. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll make it 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 20. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Derrick Henry. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Carr gonna throw. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A Raider 1st down as Carr finds Cooper.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. And the busy night for Henry continues. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do the...
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Cooper was the target there.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Wilson sliding, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Out of the gun, here's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. Fighting through pressure. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. this one is right down Broadway. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Throwing now is Carr, and he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On second down, here's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw, it's Carr. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference, defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carr now on first down. Open man right side is Ingram. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. To throw on second down. Carr. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we wanted. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Seahawks, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to